Hi everyone, I just upgraded my PC from an RTX 2080 Ti into an RTX 5080. In this video, I wanted to share my experience about the upgrade, why did I do the upgrade, what I found after I did the upgrade. This video is mostly targeted toward content creator that is using DaVinci Resolve to edit video, mostly because this is the system that I'm used and this is the system that I've been using for the past 5 to 10 years. If this is something you'd be interested, stay tuned and we'll talk about it. So why the upgrade? I started recording video for the past 5-6 years, and without a graphic card, when it's time to render my video, it would take a lot of time. And eventually I upgraded to the TI 2080, the RTX 2080 Ti. This was my first graphic card, and that graphic card served me for a good 8 years. I never really had to upgrade it until recently when I changed my process. I initially got the TI 2080 to edit red footage, and it really shine when it's time to edit red footage. And it was also easy for me on my timeline where I didn't have to create cache. I could just playback would go smooth without any issue. I did a lot of projects with that graphic card, and that was my introduction. But I purchased this graphic card a long time ago, a good 5 or 6 years. And as DaVinci Resolve is mostly geared toward AI improvement, the performance of my video editing really suffered. Every time I had to use AI-related tasks, I would suffer. And another plugin that I use also that always bring my system down, that I couldn't do live editing with, is this plugin called the Enhancer. The Enhancer is a color correction plugin that has a lot of pre-built assets that makes it very easy to color correct and really speed up the color phase when I have to color. However, you would never hear anyone telling you that you need a good graphic card for the Enhancer if you plan to apply it live into footage. And even though they are shortcuts, but usually you want to color correct in the raw footage. So I never was able to live color correct with the Enhancer. I would usually pick a frame, color correct with the Enhancer, and hope that I could play back. And last but not least, I got a new camera, a Sony, that uses a completely different codec and a different file format, which is the Sony Cine and Log. Unfortunately, that is way too compressed, and maybe it's CPU bound, I'm not sure. But I started to been in situation where I could not play back real time. So as I'm making more videos, those little things started to bother me. And then I wanted to get the best graphic card. The RTX 2080. Initially, when I wanted to get the RTX 2090, but it's way too expensive. One of the pitfalls is when I look at NVIDIA website, they say this card is about $1,000 when you buy it from them, but I could not find it anywhere for that price. The only price I could find that was $1,500. Hopefully this is changing. So this is the RTX 2080. This is the box for it. This is a very big graphic card. In terms of size, my initial thought was to just remove the RTX 2080 and replace it with the RTX 5080, but I was faced with many constraints. First, my motherboard would not support the RTX 5080. Remember, my computer is about 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, and unfortunately, your motherboard need to have a PCI Express that is the newer version of them. I'm not gonna go technical about it. All I can say is that I will link my old motherboard, and then you can see if your motherboard would support it. So since I have to replace the motherboard, then I replaced the motherboard with a newer motherboard, but then when I added the RTX 2080, it's so big that my case would not close completely. So I end up buying a new case, and also now that I already invested in a new graphic card, a new motherboard, I had to also get a new CPU. So I ended up getting the i9 CPU. But all that matters for me, it's not actually the CPU, it's how well it behaves once I start playing with it. I have to say it performed well with the new upgrade. For example, now I can use the answer and have it live, so I don't have to just fix onto one frame and then try to color correct it and hope that when I play back that it's playing back at a lower frame rate. So this issue is taken care of. I upgrade with the intention that everything is gonna go super light speed, super fast. I'm not gonna lie, nope, it didn't go. Things didn't go super light speed. Things are definitely taking less time to do, and the computer is super, it does the job well done. But this expectation when I upgrade with the latest thing, I wouldn't have to wait. I can just click and then the status bar will zoom. This didn't materialize. Other things that I found with this upgrade, I was able to upgrade my Windows. So apparently Windows 10 will not update with Windows 11 if your hardware doesn't support it. So after I switched the motherboard, I was able to go to Windows 11. I don't like Windows 11 that much because the UI is a little bit off, but I'm getting used to it. Last but not least, extra thing that I think now I have access to, it's the being able to train my own AI model for computer vision. This is something I do on the side. I don't talk that much about it. I talk about a video that I did recently where I trained the computer vision to recognize face and then blur those face. So now that I have a more powerful GPU, I can start testing and play with things at a deeper level and see how it would perform. I know I can do the same thing with my TI 2080, but having a more robust graphic card maybe can save me some time. That's pretty much it. It's a really good upgrade. If you plan to upgrade from a older GPU, like an older model, like in the 20 family, the 50 family are super big. When I mean big, I generously mean super large, and your case may not support it. Your motherboard may not support it. If you see you connect it and then when you start, the motherboard just shut down, that's pretty much it. I look online, a lot of people were complaining about that, and then I realized it's the motherboard not supporting it. You need to have a good power supply because this one use a different connector that may not be in the old power supply. And also they give me a connector that has 3 output that I can connect to my power supply. This one also did not work, so you might need to upgrade your power supply. Did it deliver? Definitely deliver. I don't use it for gaming. I mostly use it for color correction and use it for editing. One other places also that I had some issue was playback with Fusion nodes. Now I can do Fusion nodes without having to without seeing drop in the frame rate. That's pretty much it. I would definitely recommend, if you have the budget and you want to get a graphic cards, to definitely go with the 5080 or some other, whichever your budget can handle. I didn't had a chance to play with the previous generation, like the 40 generation and the 30 generation. Hopefully people who had those models were not suffering the same way that I was suffering. DaVinci Resolve is putting a lot of effort into AI and having a graphic card that can crunch those computation at the graphic card instead of the CPU can really save you time. And time is very valuable, and you don't want to be doing something and wait and then it's not good and then you waste time. You want some time to have things going live. That's pretty much it. If you want more information, subscribe to this channel. This channel is mostly about technology, software engineering, and some hardware things too, but mostly I'm trying to get into computer vision, so some more computer vision video would be here. That's it. See you next time. Bye.